Hi guys, so today I thought I would do a video on the upcoming films that are out at the moment, it being Oscar season and all, and also the fact that I went to the cinema a lot these past few weeks. I thought I'd want to do a review on what I thought of the films that I've seen and if they are worth going to see. Probably this review will contain spoilers because I'm terrible at keeping my mouth shut. The films that I will be reviewing are Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Joy, The Danish Girl and The Revenant. So if you guys want to find out about that, or if you've gone to see them and you want to know what I think, then keep watching. So the first film that I went to see was Star Wars The Force Awakens. It was something that I had to see so that when I grew up I could tell my kids and whatnot that I've been to see a Star Wars film in the cinema. I'm also quite I guess I'm an okay Star Wars fan. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, but I did watch all the original films and the prequels before I watched this film, just so I could get a good understanding of what was going on, etc, etc. Now this film obviously was big budget, big blockbuster. Everything was big about it. I thought it was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It was probably my favourite Star Wars film out of all of them. The fact that they brought back the original cast, so Han Solo and Leia and R2 and C-3PO, it was just like, even though I hadn't been brought up with Star Wars, it was kind of a bit like, oh, that's so nice, like a good reminiscing nostalgia kind of thing. I thought that was amazing, and I think it definitely helped with the franchise as well, because I know that the prequels didn't go down as well as the originals, and yeah, I thought that was a really nice touch to have. So obviously I don't want to give much away on Star Wars because I got another 3 films to review as well. I'm going to keep this nice and short. Obviously, for those of you who haven't seen Star Wars yet, go out and see it. Even if you probably haven't seen the originals or prequels, you could probably get into this one quite quickly as well. It's great for the entire family. It's just a great film. I'll definitely give this probably 4.5 out of 5, maybe even 5 out of 5. It was that good. Just yeah, amazing film. So the next film that I went to see was Joy, and this was a film that I really wanted to see. Out of the entire awards films that are coming out this January, Joy was definitely the one that I really had my eye on, you know. For starters, I love Jennifer Lawrence. Bradley Cooper was in it as well, and also I love David O. Russell. Silver Linings Playbook was probably one of my favourite films, and what I love about David's work is his use of language and his use of writing. Yeah, it's great. I love his work because he's such a great script writer. His language and his dialogue is so almost improvised that it comes across as really realistic. One thing that I love about certain films are dialogue films. Are probably my most favourite films out of all of them, and how when the actors perform the script, it's almost as if they're talking in real life and they cut across each other, and you see it a lot in Silver Linings Playbook and probably a lot of his other films as well. Joy was no exception to that. It definitely was very wordy, very dialogue-y, if that's a real word, probably not, and it just had a really good story behind it as well, and it was so simple when you think about it, because she invents a mop. When you sort of read, when I read the blurb on what it was about, I kind of thought, oh, she invents a mop, that sounds a bit, boring. But the cast, really contributed to the, I guess, excitement of it all. You had Robert De Niro, who I love, and one massive surprise for me, which I didn't realise that she was in this, was Isabella Rossellini. She's probably most famous for Blue Velvet by David Lynch. And it was so weird because obviously I kind of not remember, but I know her as this young, voluptuous woman, and she's obviously aged a lot more now, but it was really good to see her in this role, and it was quite comedic as well, almost like a dark comedy. It wasn't slapstick, it wasn't juvenile or anything like that. It was kind of like I said, a more dialogue comedy, and stuff in there was very dry, which I love about Robert De Niro, and Jennifer Lawrence just completely bounces off that really well. So yeah, I would give Joy I'd give it probably a 4 out of 5. Nothing's really perfect in my eyes. There's always little certain things that could go wrong with it and whatnot, but I thought it was a really, really good film, and the story behind it is really good as well. It's empowering to women, which is always quite nice to see as well, but it's not such a in-your-face kind of feminism type of thing. It's kind of more subtle and more, I guess, like in the background of the whole feminism theme and whatnot, which is what I quite liked about it. So if you want to go see Joy, I would definitely recommend it. If you like really like heavy dialogue and complicated dialogue and dry humour, then I definitely think that Joy is the right film to see. So the next film that I went to see with my mum was The Danish Girl. Now this wasn't really in my list of films to see, but my mum wanted to see it, so I thought I'll go along with it to see it and see what it's all about and whatnot. And this film, I would say, is like a lot, it's very arty. If you've seen The King's Speech and Les Miserables, director Tom Hooper is the same director for The Danish Girl. It's very, how can I possibly like describe this? Probably the best way to describe it would be, it's very feminine, which is kind of like what it's meant to be about anyway, because obviously it's about transgender and you know, coming out as transgender, particularly in those times as well. I think it was set in the 1920s, where it was so difficult. I've looked at a lot of reviews of Danish Girl, and they have said that it's almost you're sort of looking at the issue through rosy coloured spectacles, which I did see a lot of that. Considering what's going on in today's generation with transgender and the LGBT community and whatnot, it's not nice, you know. People have really suffered and really gone through so much just to be themselves, and I'm guessing at the time as well it was, you know, a lot more darker and, you know, grittier and just not pleasant, and they kind of made it pleasant. Now Alicia Vikander, I would definitely say, should have been the lead in my eyes. That's how I kind of saw it. I don't really see her as a supporting actress, I see her more as a lead actress, and then Eddie Redmayne as a supporting. And I just came out of it thinking, because obviously this is a true story, and I thought, oh my god, what that woman went through, and her, you know, strength and her tenacity and her supportiveness for Lily was just like incredible. And to be honest with you, I don't think she's been given enough credit. Obviously it is a supporting role, that's what it's classed as, but in my eyes it should have been a lead role. It was very wishy-washy, it was very pretty. Obviously Tom Hooper's style, you know, is like that. Even like Les Miserables was probably one of his grittiest films, I guess I could say, but it was still very arty and whatnot, very Oscar, very Academy is what I would definitely say. But yeah, I thought it was really good, but it probably wasn't my favourite film in all. I'd probably give this film a 3 out of 5, just because I don't think it's that suited for like a majority audience as well. Obviously a lot of women are going to want to see this. I'm not quite sure about a lot of men wanting to see it. It's not really a family thing. Young people I don't think would want to see it either. So yeah, it was good, but it probably wasn't my favourite out of the lot from today. So finally, last week I went to see The Revenant. Now this was my favourite film out of all of them. I remember seeing a teaser trailer for this and thinking, I have to see that. That looks incredible. What made it stand out so much compared to, like, you know, other films is just its complete style, you know, just the way, all of it, the way it's made is completely different to what you'd normally see in stereotypical cinema. You know, for starters, the dialogue in it, you can't quite pick up what they're saying. It's very mumbled, and if the camera pans away from what that person is saying, it's difficult to pick up on what they're saying, but that's how it would be in real life anyway. Alejandro's vision for this entire film is realistic. That's probably the best way I could describe this. So the lighting, the camera, the dialogue, the sound, everything about it was realistic. And the the stuff that the actors had to go through, I'm going to talk about Leo here, but obviously other actors as well, the stuff he had to go through to make this film was incredible. I know there's a lot of like controversy over you know, how the actors should have been treated and how, you know, the stuff going on and blah blah blah, but to be quite honest with you, I think if they didn't do that, then it wouldn't have the effect that it had on the screen, and they kind of had to go to that length to make it as great as it was. The visuals were absolutely stunning. I always recall this one shot as a helicopter shot, and it's going over mountains and whatnot, and then underneath it is like this like frozen lake, and one person is walking on that lake, and I think, oh my god, like the visuals was just stunning. One thing I would say about this film, if I am to give it a bit of a negative, the CGI wasn't that great. The bear, for instance, didn't really seem that real to me. I don't know if because I'm an ex-film student and I recognise these sort of things, but the bear to me didn't seem real. I could kind of see that it was made up from a computer. I think also the buffalo as well weren't that real to me. But overall, I could talk about this film for the entire video, to be honest with you. It was so good, you know, probably my favourite, probably a film that I'd be willing to pay and see again. The soundtrack was stunning. I would say just go and see this film. I think out of all the films that I've sort of quickly reviewed for you guys today, go and see The Revenant. If you're 15 and over, or whatever certificate it is in your country, go and see The Revenant. It is incredible. My favourite film out of the lot. 5 out of 5 for this film because it was so good. And I think I'll wrap it up there. So yeah, that's it for my film review. It hasn't been very much of a proper film review. I'm looking back on what I just said and I think, oh my god, I used to write about this stuff, and what I've just said is not technically right in any way, but it's just my quick opinion on things, and I hope you guys go and see these films because there's some amazing films out there at the moment, and yeah, just go to your cinema and check them all out. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe and comment, and also leave a request if you want to as well, because I'm constantly brainstorming on new things to do, and if you guys request on what you'd like to see, then that'll be great. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys. Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a room tour for you all. I know a lot of you have been commenting saying how nice my room looks, and I had a few of you requesting me to do a room tour as well, so I thought that I would show you guys my bedroom of where I film and whatnot, so I hope